The opinions and views expressed by individuals during this broadcast are their own and may not be the opinions of this network, their group, or other organization they may be involved with.
Fuck! Fuck me. Well, good morning if this thing's working, and I hope it's working because I had a little bit of technical difficulties getting in here today. Sometimes the things work out and sometimes they don't. Hopefully you're hearing me. Hopefully you're seeing this. Oh, God, what enough to drive you bonkers? You know, you try to take care of a goal, try to take care of something, and it just backfires on you. What do you do about the backfire? How do you make sure that the backfire is fixed? The fix. What a concept. Wow. It's Tuesday, guys, and we made it. We actually made it this far to Tuesday, and hopefully you've made it to Tuesday as well. What have you done for Tuesday, and how has your Tuesday been? Well, just to make sure that we do this the right, proper way, because there are certain things that have to be done in a certain order, or else life doesn't kind of work out the way that you're hoping. Well, we're hunting for it right now to give you guys a little bit of something different. Okay, well, sorry about that, guys. My producer back here is sitting here wondering, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? And I told him what I'm doing. He just doesn't want to listen. That's what it is. He doesn't want to listen. So let's go to this way.
Advertising space available at NOK. Contact us for a rate sheet at knocknetwork.com. Send us a message on our social media platforms or email us at info@noknetwork.com.
Man, oh man, I don't even know where to begin. It's one of those. You have friends in from out of town and you want to give them an experience. You want them to have a really good time. You really want them to be comfortable. You want them to feel like they're in your home. You want them to feel like they can be present at the time and that.
Hey, hi, my name is John Mark, aka Sublimator Warrior, and I would like to welcome you to Smoke Signal in Tyendinaga.
One dab make your whole dome drip sweat. One dab make the homies all dip set.
Smoke Signals, Tyendinaga.
Smoke Signals, Tyendinaga.
Smoke Signals, Tyendinaga.
Ooey, ooey, gooey, that's a sticky dab. Sticky dab. Might just have to put this one on Instagram.
Smoke Signals, Tyendinaga.
Hold it in, feel it in your wrist.
Smoke Signals, Tyendinaga.
Check us out in Tyendinaga. 55 Highway 49 in Tyendinaga. It's on the res, and we're open from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 7 days a week.
Wow. Every time I watch that, it kind of opens my eyes a little bit bigger because I live in a town where the Apache Nation is huge. So it's a really cool thought that we're reaching across the internet through multiple cultural means. That probably didn't make any sense. I rambled, huh? Well, it doesn't matter. We're not going to mumble. We're not going to ramble, but we are going to have something to make us medicine, if we shall. Today is July 1st. This is the very first day of Gettysburg. It's the very first day that started our revolution, that started the way things changed and became what they are to this very moment. First shot was fired this morning. It's pretty impressive to think that, America has withstood the test of time. She's been through her ups and she's been through her downs, and it's pretty insane. Fellow country, Canada, is having their Canada Day, so red, white. That's pretty cool. So the whole thing is, you gotta love what you got going on. So I had some friends come in because a friend of mine, a fellow friend of mine, is moving in from out of town. Wanted to come and set some stuff up in Tombstone, get his storage unit going. And when you initially have people come in from out of town, your first thought is, of course I want to help you. Of course I want to be there for you. Of course I want you to have a great time. But sometimes it doesn't go the way you want because everybody has a different way of doing things. I don't know. Thing is a very broad statement. So along this trip, I've noticed things about myself that are inherently rough. One of them is I like war toys. Isn't it funny that I inherently talk about Gettysburg, I talk about 4th of July, America's independence, and then that pops up. Oh my God. Well, let's do it right. Well, it's time. It's always the time to wake up. Now that you're waking up with the Wayniac guys, thank you for joining me. Girls, thank you for joining me, and all of the others. Gosh, I do appreciate you guys. Thanks for joining me this fine morning. I started to get my shit going. I realized I had a show today. It's Tuesday. That's good. That is some really good coffee right there. Wow, that's some stellar coffee. Wow. All right. That's a brewery out of Bisbee that I got. And I really like them. They're a very strong brew. Even though it's their, they call it their mid brew, so it's very a light brew, but it's really good. It's very tasty. It's very round. Has all the notes that you want for coffee. It's also really good to dress up with your, your sugar and your cream and all that stuff, which is pretty cool. I am definitely in the stoned persuasion. And, as I sit here thinking about being stoned, it's the only thing I can do is bring up my sunshade because the sun is beaming me in the face. So while that thing is going up there, getting beamed in the face, take this. Well, good day. Happy Tuesday to my friends who just showed up. We are live all over the network right now, broadcasting live to wherever you are. Hopefully you're catching up. If you just got here, we are just relaxing at the moment, taking it in. We're just having a conversation. I don't know. What are we talking about? What were we talking about again? We were talking about a whole lot of nothing. But a whole lot of nothing sometimes means that you got to just catch up. You know the drill. If you do it and you hear it, play it at the same time.
Bong it time, it's bong it time. Don't you just know bong it time? It's bong it time, it's bong it time. Everyone loves bong it time.
I know. Sometimes it never gets old, and sometimes you're like, that again? I know. But we got away with it. There are other things that we have to think about, we have to put in consideration. Those other things that are in consideration sometimes. No, I started out today thinking I was going to do something a little different. The truth is, I didn't really have a plan because with friends in town, I didn't really know if I was going to want to do a live and then have them bored as hell for, their 55 minutes or whatever they're hanging out with me for. That would just be terrible. And they've been hearing me talk the whole fucking trip. So I'm pretty sure they're at wit's end where it's like just some time without me is probably exactly what the doctor ordered. That's just one approach. If you like it and you share it, it will help. It'll get people to notice and they'll start to see what's going on out there. Viewers, hello. Thank you for the reactions. I do love what we got. Today's episode is totally brought to you by the power of suggestion and the power of doing it for yourself. I try to suggest to myself every day that I'm doing the right, appropriate thing. Some days it just seems like it's harder to keep your shoes on. It's harder to get started. It's harder to get traction than you did the time before. Well, as the days go on, you realize that this arduous task that you're falling into is it's everything in life, that consumer part of it, the part that you're worrying about being a prosumer, consumer, then you're watching everyone around you falling into it too. It's hard to have a conversation with people nowadays that don't relate to the internet, or maybe it's the group or the age group that you're hanging out with, possibly. I do know that people in a younger demographic tend to think differently. They tend to interact differently. So the thing is, please excuse me as I threw too many words out there. That's way too much coffee. Sometimes you got to pump your own brakes and realize that you too are 18 years old.
What we have here, the GSX 7775. It reaches speeds beyond all magnificent speeds. It will get you to Night City in no time at all. That's right, if you order now. But just wait, there's a whole lot more.
I know, there is a whole lot more. And there's a time and a place for that whole lot more. It's almost like picking your nose at the dinner table. No, you don't do that until you're in the restroom or in the privacy of your own area with a napkin or something. But here in Tombstone, we tend to do things just a skosh different.
Cochise Hotel. Established in the summer of 1897 or something in the whereabouts of.
If you're looking for a home in
This is a historic, registered landmark, maybe even a ghost town.
Are the best around.
Once this porch faced a major railroad and a shipping hub for the pens of cattle and wagons and ore. Imagine the smell. Here rested on this, the front guests would sit on this here porch and take in the Arizona summer. Now, a private residence offering a unique bed and breakfast events, private parties, museum tours. Just remember, King Franco has all your needs covered.
Wow. Oh, you got me. It doesn't matter. Practice makes permanent. This is kind of what we do in our whole life as a parent, as a teacher, as an instructor, as a father, as a son. Practice makes permanent. Doing things on repetition gets you to suddenly realize that, you're getting better at it. And maybe you're growing with this, or maybe your skill is getting better. So that being said, practice makes permanent. That is an inverted cavalry drop is what it's called, the way the pistol sits backwards. You're drawing it from an inserted position with your hand, and you're drawing it straight out. Many people have shot themselves doing so, and many people have fallen victim to it. So it's something I've been working on for a little while now because I want to make it effortless. I want to make it look like it's my everyday draw. Now, with that being said, each one of us has a different means for so, because each one of us have a different goal. You know, my goal.
The Victrola. What a great invention. Yola. One day, music will be piped through your home via Bluetooth or whatever that is. But until then, get yourself a Victrola. Break it up. Listen to your favorite singers and your songs.
I don't control this stuff. I just own this stuff. And then what we do is we tend to give it out in spurts. Part of these things that we're seeing, these commercials here, are coming from a historical Cochise Hotel out here in the fine state of Cochise County, Arizona. And that hotel is epic. It's actually one of the historical hotels where the Wyatt Earps and a few of the other gangs actually spent time at. And it really is a cool place. It's got a great vibe to it. It's definitely got a whole different energy about it, because when you're there, you know, you just you can't but take in what it is.
At the Cochise Hotel, you can make it like it's your own. Boy, oh boy, let me tell you, with 6 bedrooms and 6 baths, there's a lot you can accommodate. The idea of living in history? Most folks want to move in and they think to themselves, well, I'm going to put brand new flooring in there and maybe make me a brand new kitchen. But the problem is you don't have the Dragoon Mountains to stare at. Or maybe Tombstone right up the road. Or maybe you want to go have some barbecue with a few fellas. Or maybe you're just looking to rest your feet. Come on out. Stay the night. Join us here at the Cochise Hotel. Oh, there's things. Gotta go. Hey, hold on. No, put that down. That's important. God damn it.
If you are just catching up with us, happy Canada Day and happy first day of, yes, that's right, the Civil War, folks. You know, this is the day that those young men went out to Potter's Field. They marched out there deciding that they were going to make a difference. Now in Canada, I'm sure it's a lot different. You guys are getting your maple leaf wars going on and getting your logging communities in uproar and your checkered shirts going on. I get it. Man, everybody's got to have something. Isn't that something beautiful? Isn't that what makes this like worthwhile? The fact that we can learn about it and have cultures that we can talk about and we can mix and match and have question about tends to be the thing that makes us feel alive. I know for me, when I talk to other cultures and I talk to other people, I am enamored in the fact that how good I really have it here in the United States of America. It makes me realize just how amazing things really are. And it really gives you perspective. Because, you know, this what you take for granted one day can be taken away from you the very next, or taken away just with a border or a line, an imaginary line in the sand. But irrelevant. Most of us are going through our life not figuring out. Most of us are just robots. We're trying to make it so Johnny and Jimmy have braces and we have a house to live in and a bed to have and a place to keep our family taken care of. Well, there's a whole nother group of folks. There's a single group of people. There's the working class blue collars, you know, and we can keep going. But what I'm getting at is everybody does things differently. And myself, I'm trying to learn from that difference. I think if I learn from that difference, it'll make me a better man. I hope. Because up to this point, I haven't been a real man. I've been a good boy. Oh, I'm playing with you. Come on, laugh a little bit. The whole thing is, you know, we get up from day to day and we're like flinging stones into the universe trying to make answers. And for some people, man, they got it going on. They get up and they have that corporate job and they got this thing and they know they're every second. For me, I live in a different life. I live in a life of almost people think it's like a vacation, but it's not. I live in a vacation town. So my town is dependent on vacationers, and it's dependent on the energy that those vacationers bring to our town. So without the vacationers, you get my point. It's like a constant dog trying to like bite his tail. Come on, come on. Have some more coffee. Have some more coffee. Here. Drink up. Have some more coffee. Have some more coffee. Yeah. Have some more coffee. Hey, no, here. Seriously.
Are you a Northern Ontario resident searching for credible information on cannabis as a medicine? No Sir is here to help. Established in 2013, Northern Ontario Cannabis Education and Resources is here for you. No Sir Director Kim Cooper brings you 45 plus years experience utilizing cannabis as a medicine, and she is spreading that education across the North. Activism, referrals, resources, and more at No Sir. Don't be a jackass. Say no, sir, to propaganda with No Sir. Find them at www.nocer.ca.
Was it as good for you as it was for me? I hope it sure was, because that coffee was spectacular. Oh, you wonder why cars are driving by. I'm sitting in my car. I thought it'd make it a little easier to broadcast. If you guys just got here, sitting in my car broadcasting, and we're kind of just spitting into the universe right now. There's no rhyme, no real reason to what we're talking about. We're chatting. So the four of you guys in here, thank you. Thank you. It is Canada Day. Now, I can only imagine what that means in Canada, so I can only guess. I don't know. So I have to go with the age-old test of time. The test of time, I know. You guys are like, test of time? What the hell does that mean? It's going to be a hard one to understand, but instead I just figured I'd have someone else show you. My Uncle Ron has this whole... Take it away, Uncle Ron.
I believe the saying is, one who lives in a golden canoe must never throw rocks at a plastic dinghy. You need to get your facts straight when you put them out there on the internet.
As he said, sometimes you have to realize that it's not going to happen the way you want it. So you realize in the midst of things, you start to change. The change occurs. The change occurs when you start to make a difference. That difference is getting out in your community, getting out with your friends, and shoveling the shit.
All the way here to Tombstone, and they seem they got my here sign. Politicians. What are more than a politician? More than overpaid jerks and tight suits. I couldn't fit into a suit. A little hot during the summertime. And especially, my spurs look a little funny in them. What? Get out of here! Get out of here!
Ow, that's like a full left hook to the cheek, right? Never a good one, never a fun one, and never exciting. If you guys just checked in, we are live in Tombstone. We're off of, this is 3rd Street off of Allen Street. So this is very close to where the fateful shootout happened at 4th and Allen. Behind me is the corner of where it started to happen. But they walked down from 4th, and that's where it really took place, but irrelevant. You didn't know what that is. There was a shootout on Allen in October of 26th on a very cold morning between a gentleman by the name of Wyatt Earp, his two brothers, and a very good friend of theirs, Doc Holliday, who ended up meeting up with the fates of a cowboy clan, a bunch of guys that were organized crime, a bunch of ranch hands that were working for a guy named Ike Clanton, and another guy, his brother Billy Clanton, which died in the shootout. The McClannery boys, 2 brothers, the McClannery brothers, and then another gentleman. The whole idea is that, it happened over whatever. It's the way shit was settled in the West, I suppose, back then. And it happened there, and, we can keep going, but I won't. But that's what's behind me. That's a lot. My goodness, are you tired? Damn, I am. Have you had enough coffee? I have. What about me? You? No, of course. I know. Oh, caught me. I was pouring some more coffee. But you know what? Road trip might be entitled right now, right? What about a good road trip? A good road trip. You know what? Hey, here. I got the keys. Here. Wow. Road trip's cool, huh? You could have rolled the window down if you wanted. I'm not going to smoke you out. I mean, unless that's what you do want. I hope that's not what you want, especially if you're not into it. But if you are, that's definitely one way to keep the mosquitoes away, the chiggers away, and also can keep the bad night's rest away. Hey, taxi. Well, there went my Uber. What are you expecting? What are you expecting?
Can't argue with stupid. You just can't.
You can attempt to, but the problem then becomes you realize that you're kind of like scribbling out certain things that everybody inherently needs to hear and everybody needs to know. I know. Labels, right? Well, I read labels. Do you? That's a good question. A lot of people don't necessarily. And then they end up getting screwed over, like myself. I ended up going to the market. I thought, man, I want myself a nice big Mexican beer. It'll be perfect. Got home and realized I bought 2 Chelada beers, which are absolutely vomit worthy. And I realized I wasted my money. And now I'm like, oh, that is absolutely terrible. That's why you can't.
Can't argue with stupid. You just can't.
Then it puts me in that category of, oh, it was my own decision to be there, and that's what exactly I get. But I get what I want? Is that the idea?
Well, once again, here we are, being family and friends out here in Armador County, or as I should say, Plymouth. Come on out, steampunks. That's right, you heard me right. Steampunks. I'm not really sure what it is, but it is. You should come out and see my friends. All my friends. Wild bunches of us. And remember, if you can't get it right and you don't want to do it right, you can join the Black Flag Gang, because there is only one way out of here.
Well, you guys did survive, I noticed. I know I'm putting you through those arduous tasks of listening to those adventures that I'm always on. I know. Someday, I'm just going to film one from my couch and show you guys how I really do it. That would not, I don't even have a couch. That's a lie. I have a recliner chair. So maybe one of these days I'll do it from my recliner chair, and you guys will see how I really tend to do this shit.
All the way here to Tombstone, and they seem they got my here sign. Politicians. What are more than a politician, more than overpaid jerks and tight suits? I couldn't fit into a suit, a little hot during the summertime. And especially, my spurs look a little funny in them. What? Get out of here! Get out of here!
It never gets old. For some reason, every time I watch it, I realize that, maybe I got to own that sign, because that's definitely a sign that should be on my property. I don't know. Do you have any signs hanging up at your home? I have one that says your life isn't worth anything on this property. I think that's what it says, something like that. I used to have one that said smile, you're on camera, and a thermal scope, but figured that was just a little weird and people really wouldn't enjoy it, so I took that. Today's going to be lunchtime. At lunchtime, I'm already thinking of lunch because I'm a little hungry, but my thought lunch is going to be like chicken sandwiches and French fries. What about you? What do you have planned for your day? I couldn't imagine having a day without food, having a day of oppression to the fact that all I get is a little bit of water and bologna, and that's all I get. That just does not sound appealing at all. It doesn't sound good at all. To my friends watching this, or if you just got here, I'm live on. This is 3rd Street. This is 3rd Street in Allen, or not even Allen. This is 3rd Street, just above Allen. We're across the highway, and we're hanging out, having a little bit of a lot of coffee, a little bit of cannabis, and a wild conversation. And I just thought I'd interest you guys on that. I don't know. I could totally be lying to you, but for some reason, I don't think I am. For some reason, I believe that you guys just want a road trip. That's all you're hanging out with me for. You just want the road trip. Oh, looky here. Thought I'd bring you guys a little outdoors for a moment, show you guys something out here. Oh, look here for a second. I'm going to set this down here. Just in there is a period correct home, which is pretty cool. Just the fact that it exists here. I stepped outside to get some air, stepped outside to see if we can broadcast outside. The air out here. Bit windy. So I got an idea. I think I got a plan. Is that like epic boo-worthy or what, man? I don't know what just happened. Well, I know what happened. The internet came to a screeching halt. I got slapped around. My God, guys, please forgive me for that. That was rough, man. The internet out here is unforgiving. And it's so unforgiving that there's times that you almost want to quit. Oh my God, Jason Garillo is in the house. I hope I'm saying your name right. Mr. Sir Steve-O is here. God, I'm sorry, guys. I just got around to seeing the comments. Please forgive me. Whoo-wee, that was rough. The internet tends to do this like slap around thing to you. And when you get slapped around, all you can do is like restart and gather your stuff and try to figure it out. And my God, that was rough, man. That was downright rough right there. So please forgive me, but I think we're back. Where were we again?
All the way here to Tombstone, and they seem they got my here sign. Politicians. What are more than a politician? More than overpaid jerks and tight suits. I couldn't fit into a suit. A little hot during the summertime. And especially, my spurs look a little funny in them. What? Get out of here! Get out of here!
That's where we were. We were talking about the whole like vacation thing and living in a vacation area and having friends in and not sure how to do things. How do you do with people in your house in the first place? With people going to your cabinets, doing things that you normally don't do, not treating your things the way that you treat your things. How do you do it? Do you just bite your tongue? That's how I would imagine owning an Airbnb would feel. You know, people are always in there abusing, using your stuff. It would be a constant, I would imagine. Now, I have been wrong with this because I don't own one of those, and all I could do is just kind of go by what I think that it is. You know, I lied. I know where we were. We were actually doing some. Yeah. We were road tripping.
See, the small endeavors are the ones that always end up being the big endeavors. It's kind of like when you're mad at the microwave oven for being mad at the wife for not answering the phone on time. You get my point. Gotta go.
Fixing that. Sorry about that, kids. Woo, rough transition, huh? It is about the big endeavors and the small endeavors. As I sit here right now, I look out amongst the desert and the mountains, look over here at the buildings, courthouse. It's almost bliss. For me, it's bliss because it gets me away from that source of all that madness that was Los Angeles. And I didn't know how to react amongst it. I kind of was turning into an animal and I didn't know it. So while on vacation, my friends come out, they're around someone who's kind of changed, and I'm trying to adapt to them. So it's a little weird. Moral of that story is that, hey, treat your brothers and sisters with love and respect. It doesn't matter how they act. It doesn't matter what their beliefs are. You guys will come to some agreement. And that's what I'm trying to stick to. Positive vibe, right? Right.
In the 1800s, these here streets weren't as nice and as fancy as you see them now. In the 1800s, there were disputes in the street by young men, outlaws and cowboys and ranch hands. Sometimes you'd have aristocrats throwing their best bet at that, but not as much as you think.
Not as much as you think at all, actually. I think what changes about the aristocrat part, it just becomes more of war of pens and paper. I think that's what changed here, at least in Tombstone. It changed because it went from the land of the law of the land, to the police being a certain way, to then full control. Then it turned into the law of the religion, and then all of a sudden this whole outlaw thing started happening out here because they didn't want to be governed by any of that. That's why we have these stories of the Wild West. It's pretty cool. Stories of the Wild West.
So, the bank, would it work?
No, Stagecoach is where it's at.
But they're moving and you got to catch up with them.
No, it's the Stagecoach, trust me.
But
but you can get the lock boxes in the bank.
No, haven't you seen, that movie, Stagecoach and the Furious?
What? I know, right? Now, what would help right now would be a large brim hat. That would help. You know what? Maybe my wish can be taken care of in one way or the other, but maybe it can't. So I just got to hope for the best.
Here's an official 1800s bucking board, big wheel, 4x4 trailer. And you too can have the wildest ride. Check it out. Bluetooth, an official metal wheel. And you can pull it on 2 horses, 3 horses, 4 horses. Here's an antique bucking board. This here would be your Ford truck in your, how would you say, your 4-wheel drive for all of us farm folks. Take a look.
I know at this point you're probably wondering, well, dude, we like the road trip thing. Can we go on another road trip? And all I can say to you is a road trip. Take you on a road trip, he says. I don't know. I can take you to where I work.
Way out west where the 6 guns shine. There's a place where you can step back in time.
Or just maybe
At the Cochise Hotel, you can make it like it's your own. Boy, oh boy, let me tell you, with 6 bedrooms and 6 baths, there's a lot you can accommodate. The idea of living in history? Most folks want to move in and they think to themselves, well, I'm going to put brand new flooring in there and maybe make me a brand new kitchen. But the problem is you don't have the Dragoon Mountains to stare at. Or maybe Tombstone right up the road. Or maybe you want to go have some barbecue with a few fellas. Or maybe you're just looking to rest your feet. Come on out. Stay the night. Join us here at the Cochise Hotel. Oh, there's things. Gotta go. Hey, hold on. No, put that down. That's important. God damn it.
if you just got here, thank you so very much for coming and hanging out with me. Oh, I see some hearts in there. Thank you so much for those reactions. Hearts actually really work, believe it or not. They help with our algorithm, guys. So whoever sent me some hearts, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. You know, the hearts and the views and the likes and all the thumbs up, these are very important to the algorithm and the way it works. It's going to put you in the feed. It's going to change the way you do it. All it's going to do from me to you is get you guys some more road trips. You know, I've been taking on all these medieval, not even medieval, pardon me, these Wild West road trips and showing you all this teepees and tents and burlap and bad drywall and bad wallpaper and bad teeth. I figured I'd show you something a little different. Drive with me. It is almost impossible to sum up one place that is so colorful, so unique as Bisbee to sum it up and put it into a 1-minute video. I'm going to be honest with you, as an editor, as a filmer, as a whatever you want to call it, it's hard. it's very difficult because what's happening is that you're trying to capture everything that it is. You have a million pictures, you got a whole bunch of data, and you're trying to put it together. And it's only my vision. It's only the way that I see it. And the whole thing is that you might get something different from it. And that's what makes travel, vacation, so important. That's what makes getting out of your own little bubble, out in your little home and seeing things and making a true difference in your own life. A lot of people forget that, and that's where the difference becomes.
Ah, yes. Look what I showed up at. I suddenly started to get my stomach making this sound. And then I thought a sandwich would be beautiful. You know, for 2 years now, my friends have been making sandwiches here in Tombstone. Yes, they make fat sandwiches. They also make salads. Yes, you should make your way down. It is on 4th Street before Toughnut between Allen. Here in the world-famous Tombstone. Au revoir, you all. I love to see you. Goodbye. I have to go.
Well, I throw that out there, not that any of you can get to it, but I have to say my friends' businesses are important. And it's okay to talk about your friend's business. At this point, it's one of those things where it's perfectly good to talk about your friend's business because nobody else is going to talk about your friend's business, kind of like you. Getting your friend's business would be cool. So when people show up there and go there, I'm really happy. Only because what it does for me is it makes me feel like my job is done well. I don't know if it's even a job anymore, but it's a thing that I do love to do. You know, there's something that I love to share every single show with you guys, and I never, ever go without. And I think it's time that we might get going there at least. Maybe here.
Advertising space available at NOK. Contact us for a rate sheet at knocknetwork.com. Send us a message on our social media platforms or email us at info@noknetwork.com.
Happy Canada Day, guys, and happy, guess what, the first day of July. You know what's going to happen in 3 more days. Sky's going to erupt and explosions and lots of barbecue and lots of people being happy with each other because everyone's going to get to send the love with each other. But by the way, every show I share it with you, and I think it's time.
And we're going to do it. I need dead silence, and then when I get it all the way down, I'm going to turn so you can all see it. And you're going to erupt in applause.
This is weird.
Yes? Yes?
My ex.
Okay, I believe you. Here we go. Dead silence.
I bet you're wondering what she was doing. Well, if you are, then you had to go to the show and you had to witness it firsthand. You know, for me, it's kind of funny because I've been to a lot of places. I've seen a lot of stuff. And every time I've seen something new, I do a little head scratching. And I do a little bit of questioning. And then I ask a lot of questions because I'm curious all the time. And I want to know exactly why these things and people are doing what they do. These birds over here going crazy. They just heard me and they're like, what's he doing? Well, you know what he's doing. But you guys haven't heard in a while and seen in a little while. I hope when you hear that song that you're taking care of your lungs and you're stretching your lungs and you're getting yourself in a different place. I know for some of you, you're thinking it's awful early for this, and others you're thinking, yeah, right on. Whatever your place in your time is, I'm right there with you. I think we should all figure out what that is. As I'm sitting here today, looking around at the beautiful weather, all I can think over and over and over. It's exactly what my Uncle Ron would say.
I believe the saying is, One who lives in a golden canoe must never throw rocks at a plastic dinghy. You need to get your facts straight when you put them out there on the internet.
It really matters a lot. And I think when we start thinking about what's going on, like today, the facts are it's going to be a warm one. We had the monsoons last night. The storms came in, blew like crazy. It was like Dorothy. It was insane. The winds came through, lots of rain. Started to rain, got everything wet. Woke up this morning. It's dry. It's dry and it's nice outside. It's got a nice breeze. It is bright though. That's the one thing. It's like sunglasses. Maybe if I wore sunglasses, this would definitely be my thing. But I don't wear sunglasses, so it's like, oh, it's like, keep your hat low, keep your hat. Oh my God! No, maybe not. Maybe that's a little too weird. But you know what time it is? I know what time it is. Yeah, I told you what time it was. And you even thought like you were going to make up your own thing and do your own thing. And how dare you? You know, most of the time, most of you guys have to be told what time it is. And I have to even be there to let you know what time it is because you know what day of the week it is too if I didn't tell you? I know. It's Q-is Day. Well, thanks for hanging out on Q-is Day with me, and thanks for having a moment of waking up with the Wayniac and having a little bit of nonsense. Nonsense. I'm hoping you guys are getting that. Whew, feels good to have nonsense, but it's bright. It's balls out here. Yeah, it's bright as balls out here. That's all I keep thinking. Sunglasses, big hat, Banana Republic. What the hell did that have to do with anything? Oh, well. So, you know, I got to talking to my friends today and I'm asking them like, what do you guys want to do? What do you want to see while you're here in Tombstone? And both of them were pretty much like, we don't know. We just want to see some stuff. Let you show us. The thing is, when you live in a place and you see the way things are, it's very hard to show people and have people get the same experience that like you've had, but you think one works for them. So you do try.
Birdcage Theater. That's right, the Birdcage Theater, Tombstone, Arizona. This little building showed up in 1881, and they showed the acts of all the troubadours from across the United States. All the way from Shakespeare, all the way to the dancing girls. There's a reason they call it the Birdcage, after all. Some of the finest deals were made here in this here building. Some while playing poker, others while watching the ladies of the night. Birdcage Theater, Tombstone, Arizona.
What would it be like if I didn't show you one of the most haunted spots in Tombstone, Arizona, or one of the most iconic spots of Tombstone, Arizona? Birdcage Theater. It has such an iconic energy to it that when people come here, it's the one thing they want to see. A lot of people think of it from the movie, or they think about it from all the famous stories. Some of the stories that were brought out were pretty epic, to say the least. The Birdcage has its own folklore, if you shall. It has its own mythological kind of take. A lot of gunfights, longest gambling hall, blah blah blah. All these things that make it definitely enduring. Thing is, like, people see that, or they just take it as lore, and do they just walk away from what is lore? And that's a good question. That's the one question I have for people. It's like, wow, man, like what do you take away from that? For me, I take away it's where I live. It's my vacation spot. Now, while making these videos, you have to realize that there's a lot of outtakes, there's a lot of blemishes, a lot of mistakes, and so sometimes you just gotta make people pay the price.
Promise I'll be kind of quiet. Oh, just let me do the talking. Oh, let him do the talking. Oh, shit, Wednesday. Pardon me? No, I didn't point at you. I don't shoot my camera at my friends. Only the people that are in front of it that are meant to be in front of it, not strangers. Unless you want to sign a waiver, I can have you sign a waiver and you can pay me $700 to put you in my video if you like.
No, you're making the video?
But $700 to get the video done.
How about if I can just watch you?
For $500 you can watch me. $700 you can be in it, you can even be a part of it. $500 you can watch. $350 you can. You have a nice day now. No, I didn't shoot him. Come on. Well, I get paid for nothing. Well, looky here, y'all. Old Tombstone.
So y'all got to witness it. Yeah, sometimes, the innocent bystanders are the one that get caught in the crossfire. And other times you realize it's not even a crossfire. It's more or less just a jagged edge that we're on. We're on a jagged, loose edge when we do a live broadcast or when you're filming something. And when you're filming a shot that you have a script and you have an idea, a shot list, that is different. That is totally contrived, worked out. You know what you're doing. Everybody knows their next moment. You know exactly where your beats are. But when you're improvising, you got to just kind of like roll with it and be aware that that's going to be in change. At the same time as we're doing that, that's when people on the outside want to insert themselves into it. And instead of stopping the motion of action, stopping the moment and attending to them, I just brought them into the moment. Now, some can say that was asinine of me, and some can say it was mean of me to do to the poor guy. But I don't honestly think so. I think in that case, he definitely saw what he got to see, and he got to be a part of something. And why?
You can't argue with stupid. You just can't.
It's an ongoing thing that we all know, and that's why I was like, wow, I was kind of shocked when the guy came up, wanted to insert himself. I pumped my brakes and I kept thinking, what is best for this production? What is best? And then I kept thinking, this is going to be good. This is going to be some really good B-roll stuff. This is going to be the stuff that's going to really, really, really make people go, what the hell did I just see?
Woo-hoo-hoo!
How most interesting how things end up working out. I was sitting here trying to figure out where to film the show at. I found the spot. I was thinking about what I was going to talk about, and I found a few things that I really think today was pertinent about talking about. Vacation, for one. The improv and the art of improv and the whole idea of having fun. God, I hope you guys definitely got something out of today. I hope it wasn't a complete waste of your time, and I do hope, thank you very much for the hearts. Thank you for the reactions. Thank you for your time, and all that is yours. Because, if it wasn't for you, I'd be up here completely alone, not knowing what to do. But guys, you know what? The whole thing is that you need to know I have been everywhere. And yes, I really have. I've been from here to there. I've done things that maybe most men think of doing. And now that I'm here thinking about it with you guys, it makes me honored to think. Thank you so much for being with me. Thanks for spending time with me this morning and making it so when I go everywhere, I have a place to share it with. That's pretty cool. That's actually really cool, huh? I don't know, but it's validating. Well, as always, please be good to yourself. Spend time with your family.
God bless and pass the ammo. Get out of here. Get out of here. Should be doing this. Get out of here.
Woo-hoo-hoo!